This individual award, this year's award goes to a player that came into our hockey club with the unknown sign. Is he going to be here or not? Worked hard every day. I think he lost more pucks when he took them home from the rink than he brought back. However, the award goes to Dean Carvello.
Watch the court. Get the orange shirt on for that. Philly boys, eh?
Unrehearsed.
Got that, yeah?
I'm not Tiffany, but
51 goals in the year. Had a hell of a playoff, and people will think you scored 51 in the regular season. In the playoffs, you're expected to light the lamp. We all watch NHL hockey. It's hard to win. And when you're a marked man, you got someone in your face and cross-checking, slashing, and banging, and running from behind every shift. It's not easy. It looks easy from the outside. Anybody that's played the game of hockey knows it's not easy. So for anybody here to say the guy scores 51 goals but didn't get in the playoffs, I got a different story for you. This kid showed up to the rink every day. He left it on the table. Couldn't be more proud of the individual, a wonderful family. Said he's league MVP, voted on from 11 other teams. So no question in my mind, he's our team MVP. Jason Allegria. This year I have two unsung heroes. One unsung hero, you want to talk about an individual that faced adversity all year. I'll never forget the time we're in Renfrew. He says, "Do I have to play?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, you have to play. I mean, you're getting ready for the year." And we all know what happened. The individual breaks his leg. And I'll never forget the look on his face, but just to show how tough the kid was. Most people you could have heard across the valley with that snap. This kid barely even winced. He got up, and like everybody else, the shock in the dressing room, mom and dad there, and I will not repeat what I was going through in my mind when that happened. Too many little kids' ears in this room. So, throughout the year, he missed a bunch of time. He comes back, concussion. Playoffs, you gotta miss game 1 and 2. And we're talking about a kid that loves hockey more than life. We're talking about a kid that wakes up every day and grinds it out and grinds it out. And like I said, been here for a long time, and I have a real special place in my heart for the individual. Probably speak to him maybe once or twice in summertime, the family too. However, when he went through all year, he was able to bounce back come playoff time. And again, like others, the hockey gods just weren't worthless with illness. This kid's tough as nails. He's the real deal. 18 years old, you find an 18-year-old that's tougher than him right now, and I'll shake your hand. The other individual has been with us for 2 years. He works his tail off day in and day out. No questions asked. Been through some adversity through the year as well. But this guy was a different animal come playoff time. When the playoffs came, he looked like a warrior in an NHL game, battling Game 7 for the first 6 games. Didn't care who it was. When we talk about give it to somebody, every single shift they're on end, he gave it to somebody. 2 minutes, cross-check, slash, battled. I always say I hope someone's able to flip the switch come playoff time. This kid flipped the switch, and I wasn't sure if the switch was going to be flipped, but I was wrong again. The 2 individuals that are winning this award are Alex Forte and Maverick Hayes. Congratulations.
Start working out, eh? You must have been sick, you're losing some weight, your chest is small. see what. Good here?
Portuguese, eh?
This goaltender came to me, unknown. I'll never forget the day he walked in my office and his dad drove him up. And obviously, when someone gives you a name, you call around, and everyone says it's too small, just okay. You know, we get the story. He walks in the office, sits down, and it's okay. We're going to give you an opportunity here the first 2 games. I'm like, oh boy, we'll see what happens here. And here's the first to a minute. Arguably, I think anybody in this room that knows him is probably the most competitive person or player I've set my eyes on. Practice games. If it doesn't get it done, he's the first to admit himself, hey, that's on me. He doesn't point fingers, he doesn't blame people, but he hates to lose. And this guy works his tail off day in and day out. And I know after the second game, he said, you get me better, he I'll be better, and the rest is history. And we're going to keep this real short because we all know who we're talking about here. Mikey, hell of a goaltender, buddy. Good job.
All right, wait, that's Detroit style right there, right? Look at that, eh? Smile it up, eh? Cards, he's not driving you home tomorrow.
He's a golden boy. I call him a golden boy. He, wonderful, wonderful kid. Exceeded my expectations this year big time. Shows up to the rink every day. One of those flyers that we talk about go off, maybe, I don't know, but we'll keep that in-house. This kid's an unbelievable person. He's going to do real well in life. He had a hell of a year. Very fortunate to get him last year in a trade. Again, I spoke to everybody at the exit interviews, and this kid's got a special place in my heart. Again, not being able to play in Game 6, to have the jam, to sit on the bench and watch his teammates go to war, and me walk in after the third and go in overtime and say, can you go? He wasn't selfish. He did not put himself above his teammates. He was honest and said, I can't go. You know what? He goes out there and can't go, and he costs himself, his team, the game. He's not that type of person. And my hat goes off to him for that. That's the toughest decision a hockey player has to make in those types of situations. So obviously this award's going out. We know what we're talking about here. All right, Liam Cardiff.
You're walking a little better. You were good for Game 7 tonight. Good. You were good for tonight for Game 7. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Is that died? Go for like that? Not so much.
And my philosophy is I don't care who you are, you come to camp and win a job, regardless of age. He came into camp and won a job. He's got a hell of a future. I think the individual he lived with this year is going to show him a lot of leadership. Nobody expects to make a hockey club at this age, especially as a goaltender. This kid showed up to the rink every day. When you sit for a month and a half and don't play and never say a word, you don't pout, you don't cry, you grind it out, and you show up to practice to make saves, and the only thing you want is a muffin at the end of the day. You know, I can't say enough about this kid. There's a lot of no's to being here. You know, this and that and everything else. Again, come to camp and win a job. And I don't even know the kid or his family. He came to camp and he was the best man for the job. And, you know, would have played 20, 25. He doesn't get hurt. And we all know who this kid is. And I can't thank him enough for your leadership in the room just by being a good person. The guy sitting next to you, when you ever be in your shoes, and you know what, having someone's back is very special, especially when it's time to go to war. You don't pout, you don't cry, you don't badmouth people. You're a hell of a kid. You got a big future ahead of you, Fergie. Come on up.
Absolutely. Feel good at me.
two Almont individuals side by side here. This individual, I was lucky enough to acquire in a trade, and my good friend Dustin Blockman said he was soft and wouldn't do much. Obviously, we know Dustin's button his tongue right now, and he asked for your back, and Gary can attest to it probably about 25 times in the last 5 months. So, this first year in Bothell breaks his jaw. Last year going to Carlton Place, he breaks his wrist. How does he break his wrist? Because he always wants to be first to the puck. He didn't have to go in there and be first to the puck. He chose to be first to the puck, knowing that, hey, there's a possibility that this guy's going to run me from behind. Jams his wrist, breaks it. And I probably asked about 1 million times for about 5 weeks if it was good to go the next day. And he was fortunate enough to come back last year in the playoffs and have a hell of a playoff. Comes back this year, worked extremely hard. Day in, day out, selfless player. Very difficult to run a power play at 27-30%, I don't care what level you are, even in the playoffs. And there's individuals in this room that were a part of it, but he was a big part of it. And 88 points, and those aren't phantom points. Love Subby Johnson, but I don't have points out. Drez can attest to that, right, Jesse? I don't have it out. You either earn it or you don't. You have a point, we send it in. Jay Braz does it. I've never asked him once to add an assist or a goal. I don't do that. What you get is what you earn. And 88 points is a lot of points in this league. And those are all earned. Those aren't ghosts. Those aren't gimmies. Those are earned through hard work. And again, leading the score says a lot about you as a player and as a person. And all the hard work you put in the last 3 years in this league, Eric. Come on up, buddy.
You look better today. A little more color. Come on up, Joe. No, you get in there, buddy. Go ahead. Aaron, you want to come up too there? Come on up. Where's Willie and Max? Where are the boys? Will, Max, come on up, guys. Come on, Willie.
Again, I always tell you guys, not about goals or assists, I can care less. It means nothing. It's about how you play the game. Don't cheat the game, play the right way, play hard, be a good teammate. This award goes to a Hometown Hero Award. And again, my fault, their fault. If he's here for 3 years, it's slam dunk. It's a hat trick now, but I was very fortunate to pick him up in a trade throughout the year, and he exceeded expectations. Character, hard work, being an unbelievable person, unbelievable teammate. For me, that's how you win. You don't win by bad attitudes, and I did this, I did that. You're not winning shit like that. This guy brought it every day. His passion. When you're 19, when you lose, you sort of cry. When you're 20, you really cry because that's it. On Sunday, he really cried. To me, that's a guy that cares. That's a guy that, even though another year left, he cared. Unbelievable person. He has a bright future. Whatever he chooses to do in life, he's going to be real successful. I've never had a bad thing to say about this kid. You can't badmouth this kid. Too good of a kid. We all know who we're talking about. Where are you, man? Come on out.
I had to throw that shot your old man. That shot's at you, eh?
I'll take heat for it, too.
Oh, there it is. Going to see you. Your main man, Leon, right? I got better look at you. No,
There's a tie this year in the Molson 3 stars, and it's quite evident. couldn't go to 2 more deserving individuals that were the backbone of our team. I spoke about Eric. Obviously, the other winner is Easton. I can't say enough about this individual. I spoke about his parents. Hell of a kid. quiet. But you know what they say, the quiet ones you worry about because they're the toughest. So, most of the 3 stars, I got some other things to get out here, so I'm going to keep my speech real short. Igor, Barney, co-captains, co-winners, the most in 3 stars. It doesn't get any better.
This one's mine, consider I keep track.
You do that. You can give it up, Bree. Go ahead and take a picture.
This kid came 2 years ago. I was real lucky to know an individual down in the Toronto area that made a phone call to me and said, hey, I know this kid was missed by several teams down here. I took him. The other guy has no clue what he's talking about. Bring him down. Real fortunate that, Mom and Dad were kind enough to make the drive to Pembroke to bring him for a skate. When he left, I called the individual and said, like, are they going to sign here? Like, let's do this yesterday. Like, we got to get this moving. I'm very fortunate that they chose this destination because the destination could have been anywhere very easily. And for myself, getting to know the player, the family, like I said, it's about memories and people. This is a special individual and a special family, and for once the hockey guys were on my side. Could have went anywhere but chose to come to Pembroke. I know for me, kid's a stud. Like we're talking about, you make a pass from the goal line, the far blue line, 15 feet in the air when it drops, or it ends up being a pond, you're going on the breakaway. That's skill. That's poise. And obviously, you can play forward too. We all saw it in Game 6. So I think the biggest thing about him is if you've ever played 30-plus minutes in a game in the playoffs, you know what it's like. You watch on TV and some of those studs, McCarr and that push 28, 30. When you're pushing 35, 40, you better have some seal tests in the backseat of your pants because that's a lot of gas to be burned. He did it night in and night out. It was real exceptional. Unbelievable attitude. If he got barked at, the only thing we get like all individuals is the old head shake, right? Like go away and you can say what you want in the back of your head, but never talk back in 2 years. Was always there to show up to work. Was an unbelievable leader with the players he lived with, the players he hung out with. Always very welcoming to his teammates up in his home in Copaconk, just to keep the glue bow tight for the next year. And John, I will tell you that's important. To hang out in the off season is super, super important. That's the glue that gets you through the next year, that gives you an opportunity to win. When everybody goes east, west, north, south, and there's no glue, usually equals for a recipe for disaster next year. So, not only was he unbelievable off the ice and on the ice, tough time here because I'm going to miss him. I'll miss you. There's no more pen and go, pen and this, pen and that. And I'll miss your parents. As much as you don't want to go back home and listen to Pop say 7 o'clock, the windows and doors, here we go. Hopefully, I'm sure you're going to have an opportunity to say, I got to go work out, I got to get ready for hockey next year. And that's going to happen for you. Where it is, I have no idea, but you'll be playing hockey again next year. And, I know Mom has a lot to say when it's time to go to work next day. And she says, no, you're going to the gym, time to ready for hockey season. Your dad always has your back when it comes to that. He's just a dad. Wants what's best for you and wants you to work hard. And your parents have instilled that in you from the time you were little, and it's paid dividends in your junior hockey career. Love you like a son, kid, and I'm going to miss you. Come up and get your award, Igor.
Thank you very much, Sean, for everything. I appreciate it, okay?
Church every Sunday. I'm a person that truly believes you can believe whatever you want, religion, church, no church. I'm okay with that. But this guy, like religion, was there every Sunday. Met a lot of people there, a lot of good people, and did a lot of good for our team by showing up in the community and church. And his abilities, I have no words for it, leading the scorer of the league. Unbelievable hockey player. I've already said what I had to say about this kid. Not going to replace a lot of individuals that are sitting at this table right now. That takes time, trust me. Barney, sportsmanship and abilities are you all day long, man.
Mom and Dad, here?
It's too far to come down for no meetings.
Oh, no?
Not that far.
No, that's not true, because you're here a lot just to watch practice.
She had to pick on me somehow.
I can tell you right now, like I talked about before, he's the type of competitor that, and he's mentioned it to me in an interview that will haunt him probably the rest of his life. But I always say, when you make 5 or 10 ball saves, and you let one that maybe you should have had, it all works out in the wash. Because there's probably 1 or 2 they probably should have scored, and the one you should have had, to me, it all works out. Unbelievable in the playoffs. That save you made in Parker in Game 6, I still don't know how you made it. I was up top and said, oh, here we go. Came across. Backbone of this team. We've already spoken, we'll continue to speak, and I've already liked the way you showed me loyalty by not answering other phone calls. I'm glad you showed up at my doorstep. And again, whether it's you or your players, someone else's trash is someone else's gold, and you're definitely our gold, son. So, Mikey, come on, get the MVP, buddy.
Finally gonna handshake. You're sweating now. You nervous? Yes, a little nervous. I don't write cards. You got a long night with him.